Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Hey Cape artists, well here we go again. This time we are making some love puppies in the style of Romero Britto. And I have linked in the description below this video 2 other videos that are interviews with Romero Britto. So the more you know, the better your art will be and the better informed we all will be. So I'd like for you to go watch those videos first and then come on back here and we'll start drawing our own love puppy. Okay, so on your white paper, I'd like for you to start with the puppy's face. Let's start with an oval. Okay, once you've made your oval, we're going to begin adding some of the details onto his face. So let's start with his big floppy ears. So I'm making another kind of like a teardrop shape on the left side of his head. And then I'm going to make a matching one on the right side. It's too small. Don't worry, you can always erase and make any corrections. I have to do it all the time too. And while I'm at it, I'm going to erase the part of Puppy's face that's inside of those ears. Okay, now let's move on to his cute little face. I'm going to make one eye hiding behind this ear and the other eye hiding behind this ear. I'll add his pupils, the little black dots in the middle. Now let's put his triangle-shaped nose down near the bottom of his face, almost like he's tilting his head down a little bit. And we don't actually have to draw his whole mouth either. I'm going to make my nose a little bit bigger. We don't have to draw his whole mouth either. Instead, let's just draw his cute little puppy tongue hanging out a little bit like he's panting. So a little letter U hanging under the nose, just like that, will make a perfect little tongue. Okay, next let's draw his legs. So I'm going to draw 2 legs. Our puppy's going to be sitting. So these are his front 2 paws. And I'm drawing a straight line that's coming down, almost seems like it's coming from his tongue, but I promise it's going to be his legs. Then I'm going to draw 2 more straight lines, one a little bit to the right near his right ear and one a little to the left near his left ear. And we want them all to be about the same length. So when I bring this line down, I'm going to stop equal with the first line that I made before. And then I'll go ahead and make the other one. Okay, now let's add the little feet at the bottom. So I'm going to make them the same way Romero Britto did, which is one big lump for like most of his toes, and then one little lump for the rest of his little paw toes. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now let's make those back legs. The back legs, we're going to see only some of them. And you see how this line here looks like half of a heart? That's exactly what I want it to look like. It's like his knee and then the lower half of his back leg. Then I'm going to make one lump that goes straight across and ends just like that. I want to make sure that it's shorter than the other 2 legs that I've already drawn. That's perfect. Now repeat on the other side. Okay, so now let's give him a little heart somewhere because he is our love puppy after all. So I'm going to put a little heart on his ear this time, but last time I put one on his paw. You can put it wherever you'd like. You could even put more than one if you'd like to. Now, I'm going to add some extra hearts in the empty space around Puppy. This is called the negative space out here, and I'm going to add a couple of hearts in the negative space. When I draw hearts, I usually start with the letter V and then connect the top with the letter M because hearts mean love, and I love you very much with a V and an M. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and trace my entire puppy and all the hearts with a black Sharpie. Okay, and don't forget this step. This is a craftsmanship step. That means that when you do this step, it makes your artwork look better and more finished. I always grab an eraser and erase those pencil marks before I move on to my next step. Okay, so do you remember this one I showed you earlier? Did you notice those lines going across the project? Well, those lines are where we are headed next. And the rule with these lines is I only want you to draw 4 or 5, and I would like for you to put them so they go straight across your paper from one side to another. So they have to go across, they have to be straight, and there should only be about 4 or 5 of them. Great. And now, using whatever coloring supplies you have, I'd like for you to add some color to any part of your project. But here's the rule. Every black line that we have acts like a stop sign. So the color in my hand cannot cross the line. I have to stay within this space. And this is kind of a weird space. It's sort of like that top triangle, but then Puppy's ear is in that space and I can't cross a black line, so I have to stop at that ear and then travel back up the other side. And then this whole space here is going to be orange. Now, before I put my orange away, I'm going to go ahead and color another orange space. So somewhere else on my paper, not right next to this one, but somewhere else, I'm going to color it orange. This is a cool space, so it's kind of like half the heart gets to be painted orange. Okay, so far I've colored 3 orange spaces. I think I'm going to do one more before switching colors. I like to color multiple spaces with the color in my hand before switching because it saves time. And then when I'm done, I can move on to another color. There we go, moving on to blue. So again, the rules are the same here. I'm going to color some spaces blue, but each little black line is a stop sign. So I have to stop at the black lines and make sure I don't cross them, but I can color many different spaces with my blue. I just can't cross the lines that are right next to the one space that I'm painting. So one other thing that I sometimes do is I'll use one of my colors to make a pattern in another one of the spaces of a different color. So what I'm going to do here is use my blue, and in the orange space, I'm going to make some stripes. So it's kind of cool. I like this. Romero Britto does it too. You make some dots or some lines or some little shapes inside of one of the spaces that's a different color. It's kind of cool. I like it a lot. Okay, well that was a lot for today, artists. So here's what I'd like for you to do. Put your art in a safe place and come back here next week at the Heart of a Viking to see Romero Britto's Love Puppy Part 2. All right, see you next week.